I never believed in ghosts. I used to say that fear is just a weakness of the mind until the night someone knocked on my door at exactly 3:11 a.m. The first time it happened, I thought it was just a drunk neighbor. I live in a quiet suburban neighborhood in Ohio. Clean streets, identical houses, lawns trimmed like a competition. The kind of place where nothing ever happens. That's what made the knock so strange. It wasn't loud, it wasn't urgent. Just 3 slow, gentle taps. Knock, knock, knock. I checked my phone. 3:11 a.m. I stayed in bed, holding my breath, listening. The knocking stopped. The next morning, I checked my doorbell camera. There was nothing. No person, no shadow, no movement, just the sound. That should have been my warning. The second night, it happened again. 3:11 a.m., same soft knocking. This time, I got out of bed and walked to the door. I didn't open it, I just looked through the peephole. The porch was empty, but I felt it. Someone was standing there. I don't know how to explain it, but the air on the other side of the door felt heavy, pressurized, like something was waiting. I backed away and locked myself in the bedroom. By morning, the camera showed nothing again. I told myself it was an electrical glitch, a sound delay, anything but what my instincts were screaming. On the third night, the knocking came with a whisper. 3 taps, then a voice, low, dry, almost mechanical. Open, please. I froze. The voice didn't sound drunk. It didn't sound angry, it sounded empty, like a recording played through a broken speaker. I didn't move. 2 minutes passed. Then the voice whispered again. I know you're awake. I grabbed my phone and opened the camera app with shaking hands. This time, there was someone on the porch, a man tall, thin, standing completely still. He was facing the door, but his head was tilted slightly upward, like he was staring at the top of the frame instead of the camera. His face was pale, too pale, like paper. The camera glitched for 1 second. When it came back, he was gone. I didn't sleep after that. The next day, I asked my neighbors if they had heard anything. None of them had. But the old woman across the street went quiet when I mentioned the knocking. She stared at my door for a long time before speaking. He came back, she whispered. I asked her what she meant. She shook her head and walked back into her house without another word. That night, I left all the lights on. 3:11 a.m., knock, knock, knock. I didn't even try to look. Then the voice spoke again. This time it sounded closer, like it was right against the wood. You didn't open last time. The door handle moved just slightly. Not turning, just testing. I screamed at the top of my lungs and called 911. By the time the police arrived, the knocking had stopped. They searched the entire area. No footprints, no signs of anyone. One officer told me softly, "You should stay with someone for a few days." I wish I had listened. The knocking followed me. Not to my sister's apartment, not to hotels, not even to my car. It only came to my house, every night, 3:11 a.m. Always 3 knocks, always followed by the same words, open, please. One night I spoke back. My voice was barely a whisper. What do you want? There was a pause. Then the answer came, to finish. My blood ran cold. Finish what? I asked. The voice replied calmly, your turn. I finally did what I should have done from the start. I searched the history of my house. What I found still makes me sick. 10 years ago, a man named Daniel Mercer lived here with his wife and son. One night, neighbors reported screaming at 3:11 a.m. The police arrived to find the wife and child dead. The front door was locked from the inside. Daniel was never found. But the report ended with one strange detail. Written on the inside of the front door, scratched deep into the wood with broken fingernails, were the words, "Let me out." That night, I didn't wait for the knock. At 3:10 a.m., I stood in front of the door with every light off. 3:11 a.m., the knocking came. I placed my hand on the handle. My reflection in the dark glass wobbled as I breathed. The voice whispered one last time, "Open and I'll stop," against every survival instinct screaming inside me. I pulled the door open. The porch was empty. Cold air rushed in. For 1 second, I felt relief. Then I felt something step past me. Inside my house, the door slammed shut behind it. From the darkness of my living room, my own voice whispered, "Now you knock." The police found my front door open the next morning. Lights still on, no signs of struggle. No body, no fingerprints. They listed me as a missing person. But sometimes, late at night, in my old neighborhood, at exactly 3:11 a.m., someone hears 3 soft knocks on their door, and a voice whispers, "Open, please."